It may be your doctor really would like to do that, but the insurance only approves certain procedures.
Exactly.
So it's red tape, and that's why I think sometimes it's good to have like certain structure, but sometimes the structure could be very restrictive for innovations and technologies.
Hey everybody, it's Diane Gilman, formerly the Queen of Jeans, now the proud host of my own podcast, Too Young to Be Old. Well, I want to ask you a question. Did you ever love watching Star Trek? And they would go into some chamber if they were beaten up or zapped by an out of world X-ray, and they get fixed up immediately. Well, guess what? If you thought that was the future, the future is here, and it's called red light laser, and Flexbeam is a product that I was given. I'm going to show it to you. It looks a little space agey. Those are all red lasers with a control panel. It wraps around any shape of your body. I am using it on my right leg and my right knee because I went through breast cancer, had lymphedema in my left arm and in my right leg, never addressed the problem in my right leg. And then COVID hit and less action with my leg. And so it got bad circulation. Then my arthritis took over from being a runner all my life. And also, I don't think on top of extra fluid in my leg that I get enough blood circulation. Well, guess what? I've got Dr. Zulia Frost to explain to me and all of us why using red laser, and in this form, Flexbeam, makes such a difference. And I will tell you what, it does. And I'm just going to read what is on their label. You do it for 10 minutes. Skin and surface, mostly for conditions that are at least skin deep. Muscles and tissue, that's me. And it works. It is a combined force for going below the surface, which I can feel when I'm using it. Powerful infrared light penetrates deep into hard to reach places like my knee. And yesterday I got my gel shot in my knee because I don't feel surgery is necessary yet, thank God. But it's still painful. And every time you rest your leg, less blood circulation, less oxygenation, less fluid departure, more fluid retention. I swear to you, Dr. Frost, honest to God, this really works. Flexbeam really works. I was getting deep tissue massages, and every time I got them, yes, I would feel better, but I only got one a week or two a week at most. And then in between, it was just not good again. This, if I use it every day, and honestly, 10 minutes is not a long time to give up, to feel much better and more mobile. What is the secret to red laser? Can you explain that to us? This device, I'm in a mode now where it's like it's one of my cannot live without devices, must have at all times. I even went traveling. I had to make a TV appearance live in the studio. I took Flexbeam with me. I was using it in my hotel room right before the TV appearance. It was like magic. So explain to us all, what is the miracle of red laser light?
First of all, Diane, I'm very, very pleased that you've got the result. And I'm quite ecstatic that you love it so much. So you take it everywhere you go.
Yep.
I get feedbacks like this from my other patients who I'm connected with through all social media. And they also telling me how fantastic it works for them. And you're absolutely right. You need to understand because for most people, when they talk about light therapy, they kind of can't comprehend how light can be so powerful.
Oh, I want to tell you something. A few years ago, probably about 10 years ago, I was approached by several cosmetic manufacturers to create a Diane Gilman face cream line. And I felt that everything had been done already, and you were just going to become one of thousands who was talking about you're going to look younger and da, da, da. But my answer to all of them was if you will create a laser device like a mask that goes on or a wand you can use, I'm all in because I know the future is in light. Nobody wanted to invest the money. They just want to go on giving you topical creams that all do the same thing. So I even went to my doctor yesterday who was giving me the gel shot and said, do you recommend red laser light to your patients? And the answer was, I work for a hospital. If they're not behind it, and it's a huge hospital, then I can't really talk about it. But how is it doing for you? And I said, unbelievable, honestly. So explain this theory of light, because I have a red laser for my face too. It's taken away all my age spots. I mean, to me, this is the future today, and I want to get it out to the public and disclaimer, it worked for me. It may not work for everybody, but I'm pretty doubting Thomas, and it has done me a lot of good. So go. I'm sorry, doctor.
Oh, Diane, it all started a long time ago. As humanity, we live under sunlight. Sunlight generates energy. Sunlight gives us everything on
Ah,
this planet. So what happened in the latest century that scientists learn how to harvest the light, some spectrum or some wavelengths of light, and put this into a device. So we know that in certain wavelengths, like for example, red and near infrared, which is used in the Flexbeam, which you showed there, I showed you on video. This is very specific wavelengths because they directly stimulate energy center of the cell, and this is a big deal
wow.
because without energy, cell cannot survive. Cell can survive without food for say months. Cell can survive without water for some few days, but without energy, it would not last even a second. So the energy aspect is super important. And what scientists found that it actually works a very little bit like solar panel. So it harvests the photons of light and then absorbed in a part of mitochondria, which looks like a pigment, and then converts it into energy. So the cell physically has more energy. And in this process, it absorbs oxygen but releases nitric oxide. And of course, nitric oxide, not many people know, but this is the ultimate source for your better circulation. Okay,
That
because
is what I was looking for. Yep.
yeah, because with basically with nitric oxide, blood vessels dilate and they deliver more blood, more oxygen, and more nutrients to the tissues. So any repair process can run now smoothly. So this aspect of near infrared light has been known. In addition, scientists discovered that it actually impacts collagen. So collagen becomes better and more in quantity and better in quality. That's why, like you mentioned, that the lasers or red light therapy can be used in aesthetics because everybody wants a nice looking skin. So you can use Flexbeam also to stimulate collagen production. And as a result of this, you can also repair the scar tissue. So if you have, for example, even inner scar tissues, not only in the surface of the skin, then near infrared light will help you to remodel that scar. It's so light has many benefits.
I will tell you that for Flexbeam, I've just got really bad arthritis in my right knee. It's affected all my muscles around it. So they're always in distress and cramped, and you're never walking correctly because you're always compensating. And the fluid retention in my right leg has been really very painful. And I noticed a difference from the second session I used. Now, I'm a very disciplined person on most things, and I decided, okay, I'm going to use this every evening. So for about 2 weeks now, I have applied that to my knee, below my knee, my shin bone, and my thighs. Everything that's involved with constantly coping with this arthritis. And it's, for me, the equivalent of a deep tissue massage. Everything breaks up and dissipates. The fluid retention, gone. The pain, much alleviated. And I noticed doing it on my knee, um, no, there is now virtually no pain emanating from my knee. And I know that you just said, because we were talking before the show, I asked you, can I use it even though I just got the gel shot? And the answer is yes. So the other thing I like about it too is it does emit a certain amount of heat, especially if I'm doing it under the covers. And that is very comforting to the area I need to take care of as well. But what I love about it is you as the audience or me, we rarely get to be that proactive in healing. I mean, modern Western medicine is you go to a doctor, they prescribe a pill for you where you don't even have to compensate, like weight loss, Ozempic, and then you live with the side results. Or you go and they're going to say to you, "Oh, you need this or you need that, but you need surgery." And you know that the recovery, for me, if I got knee surgery, the recovery would be horrendous. I live in a duplex. I could not go up and down the stairs. I mean, my whole life will be upside down. Having a device that's red laser light is comforting, is coupling with my intention to move as much as I can and take care of the issue. I, as a control freak, love the fact that Flexbeam gives me the sense that at least I've got a bit of control over alleviating pain in a situation where, quite frankly, you look at it on the scales of fairness in life. Yeah, I was jogging all my life. It's a little unfair karmically that that would cause the kind of discomfort I have now. But the truth is, it's there. And guess what? Red laser, at least for me, worked. Um, I'm so impressed with it. How, you know, I'm a girl that just understands you draw a little picture of a dress or a jean and you make a pattern and you do the artwork and you get the jean made, you get the fabric, and that's it. And then, oh my gosh, you can have a huge bestseller. Our jean, the DG2 jean, I think is a 20 million, 21 million sold in about 14 years. It's huge. And that's only on tele-retail. But for you, this is a complicated device. How did you come to invent this in the form it's in with 3 red laser units and then the little control panel, which thank you so much. It's so easy to use. And I like the fact that it's flexible and the parts of my body I need to put it around, those 3 units of red light really adhere. Like you've got the Velcro belt that goes through, but this is not a joke. I mean, this is a professional little at home device. No joke with this. How did you come to that form of it?
Mhm.
And how much power is there in it? And how long actually, if I recharge this every night, and I'm religious about it, I do. How long can I expect that my red laser flex beam device will live? What's my life expectancy?
Okay, great. There are a few questions. Let me start with what you interested in. So my personal interest is to help my patients. So all my life I am a clinician. I use it in the practice, and laser therapy has been rooted since 60s. That's where it was first kind of discovered, and it's developed. But right now, Diane, not just lasers, but also LEDs step into stage, and that happened since 90s, since NASA showed their research where somebody just accidentally healed the wound on the skin
Oh,
working with red light. So
unbelievable.
they use LEDs. So with Flexbeam, we do have actually LEDs, but they are very latest, very greatest. And together with lasers, it's all called a photobiomodulation therapy. This is kind of medical term for this. But my interest was because I started with lasers and I wanted to have a device for my patients to take home, because when they come to see me, it's going to be just 1 hour, and the whole week they have to wait until next appointment. So I needed something which will give them relief in pain and help to assist in the recovery, to reduce inflammation, something at home. So this flexible device, like you're describing, um, actually, I was looking for a manufacturer, and I came across two guys in Thailand, and one of them is the inventor of this device, Ariel Helde. He's a Dutch engineer who had this brilliant epiphany that lights can be healing. So he is the actual inventor. However, I work alongside with Aryan to make this device available for everybody and create the treatment protocol behind it. So together we teamed up to make this device available for people at home. That's our goal. That's our goal, that anybody can sit at home, watch TV, put it around the knee, put it around the shoulder or the hip or whatever. And just, for 10 minutes, it's going to receive stimulation. Then they move to another shoulder and a couple of places. And if you do it on regular basis, you actually can improve so much your
Oh,
state.
yeah. Yeah. That's my experience.
And together with this, the good thing about this device, this is also device for healthy people. Like you said, you are a jogger. You run all your life. You pursue a healthy lifestyle. So if you use this device again daily, maybe just here over the chest, yeah, you can actually raise overall your energy. So you feel much more energetic,
Wow. Oh,
you
good.
sleep better, you have quality of sleep, and you could and your mood improves as well. So right now lots of depressed people because it's dark and everything. And don't forget, this is a light device, so it stimulates the production of melatonin.
So you put it from your throat over your heart, chest area, and I'm doing it tonight. Oh, that is so incredible. That's interesting, doctor, because I think there are 3 areas that are not covered by hospitals. They're not covered by major systems that insure you, but it's bariatric chamber, the the oxygen. It's cryptogenics. It's the coldness thing, which I'm not a big fan of. But my friend had ear cancer, and her doctor gave her prescriptions to go get the oxygen chamber to benefit her ear. And it's interesting because she said the same thing you just said. She walked out of every session feeling energized and happy. And so, wow, what a valuable piece of equipment this red light is to use in the dead of winter, in those months, December, most particularly January and February, when people get light deprived and
Yes.
really depressed, especially after all the action from the holidays. And suddenly you're like, oh, now what? It's the dead of winter.
Yes.
So my question again is, what do you think the life expectancy of this device is?
Like any device, because we're just pursuing also the FDA approval for as a medical device. Yes.
Yes.
So any device, normally life expectancy is 5 years, officially. Of course, they last much longer, much longer. However, with the Flexbeam, you have the battery. So you probably after 3 years, you will need to replace the battery. And we have this service available on our website. It's not expensive. You can just request, and the whole upgrade and everything will be done together.
You
Um,
know, what's expensive to me is the price you personally pay for constantly living with pain. And it changes you as a person, and it changes your goals, and it becomes a whole chunk of your mentality every day. And to be freed up from that, and I'm not saying it takes away 100%, but let's say it takes away 75%, at least for that particular day, it is so worth it. And then, now you're telling me I can put it on my chest and I'm going to feel more energized. I'm all in. Anything I can do
yes.
personally to help my health and my well-being and my mental acuity along, I'm going to do it. And I wish for my audience to always be updated on the latest and the greatest. And especially because we are an aging audience, we are a silver audience over 55. You know what? Aches and pains start to settle in. You pay a price for living longer no matter what. But here's an opportunity with FlexBeam to be able to cut down on that price you pay. The real truth is, honestly, Dr. Frost, we are living longer, but our bodies weren't necessarily made for that. And so, something like the device you have, the red light LED device, is so comforting. I feel like I'm doing something good for myself. I can integrate it into my regular activities. Like if I hadn't wanted to show it, I would probably have it on my knee right now, getting a treatment while we're doing the podcast about the device. But I do think, and it may just be the American way, but we don't settle into new new ways of accommodating aging pain very easily. And so for someone like me and a lot of my friends who don't want to take a million pills, who don't want to take a ton of pain pills, I don't trust them, I don't want them in my system. A red light device, once you understand that you can use it with almost instantaneous results, this becomes literally a godsend. So, when did you first put it out on the market and how did you test it beforehand?
I think it's been on the market almost 4 years now, 3 for sure, 3.5 maybe. And yes, of course, I personally was delivering this case studies, and also I designed the study to evaluate. First of all, what our principle in medicine: do not harm. So we needed to evaluate that is safe. And here is good news about LEDs compared to lasers, that it's actually completely and entirely safe. There is, especially in the wavelengths of red and near infrared, they just completely benign. So what I'm saying, that if you overdone it, yes, if you done like way like double, triple, which was recommended in your brochure, then the worst thing happen, you just don't get effect, but you're not gonna get sick or ill because of this. So it's completely safe. But we caution you to not to use on the head, because it's designed for the body. Okay, and the light which comes out, it's actually very, very powerful device, because you need to penetrate deep inside the body. So near infrared LEDs are really strong. That's why we give you goggles in case
Yeah.
you shine, and your eyes are exposed for long. Like if you place it from one point to another, it doesn't matter, it's absolutely fine. It's for those who somehow expose their eyes, like if, for example, you wanted to improve your facial collagen. So the recommendation is to use like 10 centimeters away on program 1, but you need to wear goggles because your eyes will
Right.
be otherwise exposed.
Right.
Yeah.
I was very impressed because after I met you, I was reading some article where there was some interview, and they were saying they were asking Gwyneth Paltrow, like the eternal beauty, the woman that never ages. They were saying, okay, you may be taking a trip and on a very long plane ride. What do you do to rejuvenate? And she said, oh, I find a spa with a red light
Mm.
center, and it looks like a tanning bed, and you go in it and it's closed sort of like a coffin. And well, Gwyneth, that's nice, and that will cost you about $5,000 a session. But you know what? Whatever it costs, guess what? It's the truth. And so the point is, I sometimes think, because I know someone else that just had to get knee replacement, which is really a profound surgery. Don't let anybody kid you. And he's immediately on from he lives in a very trendy town. He has a lot of money. He has way up their position in society. So, he had friends and doctors immediately saying, oh, you've got to go for red light therapy for your knee, and you've got to go for the oxygen therapy. So, great. If you're famous
Mm.
and you're wealthy, you're connected, and you are going to be ahead of the general public in terms of healing techniques. But now Dr. Zulia Frost comes along and says, wait a minute, you don't have to go for a $5,000 10-minute treatment. You can get Flexbeam, which is a red light therapy, and do it yourself at home. And honestly, I love that. I love the at home aspect of it because you can't come up with any excuses for not using it. I go to my physical therapist and it's, oh my God, it's pouring rain. I'm canceling. Oh my God, it's ice storm outside. I didn't want to go. Oh, it's like today where it's like 11 degrees out. No, 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 no. Here, it's as good as your own personal physical therapist because honestly, you can never cancel out and you have no reason to say no. And you honestly will see results in a few days, and you'll start to be happy for that time of day when you know you're going to use your red light therapy. And I've come in just a couple of weeks to trust it so much. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm a doubting Thomas. I'm someone who's like, "Yeah, really?" But I was also someone who thought about red light therapy, um, so many years ago, and no one would listen to me because I was just a little fashion designer on TV. And almost every lab and almost every medical practice wants to give you or sell you or convince you into something that is very classical, when in fact they may be as like 20 years behind. But that is what is called the golden rule in medicine, at least in America.
Mhm.
It's all about, we've done it this way. We've kind of always done it this way. And it's just a lot more convenient because we're all educated into it as doctors to go on doing it this way. But I honestly, I was talking to my doctor after she gave me the gel shot yesterday. And I just said, I cannot believe that you don't at least suggest this to patients. But if you are in a big medical system, you cannot.
Well, you're right, because it's a system. It maybe your doctor really would like to do that, but the insurance only approves certain procedures.
Exactly.
So it's
Exactly.
red tape, and that's why I think sometimes it's good to have like certain structure, but sometimes the structure could be very restrictive for innovations and technologies. So yes, one thing I forgot to tell you, that you can use this Flexbeam over the implants and screws and plates, because sometimes in the knee replacement or hip replacement, you have replaced joints. And because this red and infrared light is actually not hitting the tissue, this is a big deal. Like fine infrared light would hit the tissue. That's the one we should be careful about. But near infrared and red, they simply stimulate mitochondria. It's a photostimulation. They will not gonna hit your joint, so there is no side effects. You can use it. It's a bigger.
I mean, my results with it have been consistent and really fantastic. And I'm a big believer in jumping ahead of the medical community. Um, it was interesting when I had breast cancer 5 years ago. Uh, my surgeon, who is now the head of all cancer surgery at Mount Sinai, said, "You are the last generation of women with breast cancer who will do chemotherapy. It is all starting to convert to immunotherapy and coupling it with a little chemo." But and I feel, with this problem that I have with my knee joint, that I'm probably the last generation that is not going to get recommended red light therapy, and possibly bariatric chamber therapy, oxygen, as a support solution.
So I think Flex Beam could be used in when you have a specific issue, but also you can use it generally and by many members in the family. If you have a spouse, for
Good
example,
point. Yes.
both use this device. I mean, I know so many families where husband use for better sleep, wife use for their joint pain in the fingers.
So, okay, so doctor, just as a closing question, because I could talk to you forever. Better sleep. Where would I put it on my body? Would that be the front? That would be my chest down. So it would be going down, and that will help me with sleep, which I've always got interrupted sleep.
Yes, I would recommend first position here over the center of the, virtually over the heart.
Ah,
Uh,
okay.
the second position is good to put behind the neck, like this. You can lie on the front and just
Wow.
place it
Okay.
behind the neck. And also very, very good to put it over the stomach, because remember the vagus nerve stimulates your gut, your abdominal area. And that is your energy, that is your biochemical lab of the body, because you manufacture your neurotransmitters, you manufacture things which can help you to sleep. And I like the fourth position I would like to use over the sacrum area of the spine. You can put it either vertical or horizontal, it doesn't matter. The idea is to stimulate the part of the nervous system which relaxes and puts you into this sleepy mode. And
Wow.
if you do this on regular basis, daily, you notice that your sleep start improving. However, some people feel a little energized if they use it in the evening. And if you get this effect, you should start using it in the morning. Like when
You
you just
know,
wake up. Yeah.
I get the feeling, and I'm just going to make a prediction. This is slightly crazy, but it could be true. Um, I remember, and it had to be 30 years ago, 20, yeah, about 30 years ago. Somebody said, "Oh, I was dating someone and they said, I've got a miracle device in my house and it'll make food in 1 minute." And I said, "Oh, that's impossible." And they said, "No, no, no. And it's called a microwave." And I said, "Oh, come on. That is just ridiculous." And I remember I was in his house and he said, "Okay, you can't put any metal in this, but I'm telling you, we can have a meal in 1 minute, literally heat it up." So I thought, "Oh, I'm going to really please him." He's like walking out of the room for a minute to go to the garden. And I said, "I'll just put it in and heat it up right now." And I never realized that the container it was in contained metal, and the whole thing blew up. And it was like, "Oh my God, I'm going to die. How am I going to tell this guy I destroyed his modern machine?" But I will make you a prediction. I'll bet you within 15 years, 20 years into the future, there will be a red light device built into your home where it'll be in your shower. So when you're not getting wet and you're not taking a shower, you can step into that shower and get a red light treatment. That is how forward thinking I think this device is. I want to thank you so much, Dr. Zulia Frost. This is a brilliant device. And by the way, people, if you go with my code at the bottom of the screen, you are going to get $60 off this fantastic device. And, I say it again. Don't wait for the future, because the future is here today. It is called red light therapy. It is called Flexbeam by Dr. Zulia Frost. I can never thank you enough for helping alleviate some of my daily pain. And it's priceless, honestly.
Thank you so much, Diane, for having me on your show. I
Fantastic.
really, really would like people to try it at least, because
Me too.
it's relatively inexpensive. And you're absolutely right. For the getting rid of your pain, it's a very little price you pay.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. And I think as we all get older, we all think pain comes. That's the price you pay for growing older. But I'm telling you, there are solutions out there, audience, like red light flex beam, that are just not woven into the commonality of medicine today. But that doesn't mean that they're not miraculously effective. And they show you what you were looking for that you didn't even know you were looking for, because you didn't even know it was possible, but it is. So, doctor, I wish you the best of luck. I will be using FlexBeam for years to come, and now I'm going to start with it on my heart tonight, and feeling good and getting a better night's sleep. So please,
Thank you so
all
much.
my fans.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to Too Young to Be Old podcast.
The episode may be over, but the fun doesn't have to stop here. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at The Diane Gilman, or visit our website, thedianegilman.com. If you like the show, leave us a rating or a review and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And until then, don't forget, age is just a number. Together, we'll prove that we are all too young to be old.